There's going to be specific themes this year for the festival. But one of the conversations that we cannot ignore, especially here on the continent, is the urgent and necessary conversation around climate change and where Africa comes in. Take us through what your take is, and specifically with Kusi Ideas.
I think it's extremely urgent, and why we chose this topical issue. And every year we choose a different topic.
Right.
I think in 2019 we talked about what will the next 60 years look like. In 2020 we looked at what does post-COVID Africa look like. Last year, we talked about intra-Africa trade, and this year, we're talking about climate change. Why is climate change very important? Number one is the fact that Africa contributes around 2 to 3% of the emissions. Nonetheless, bears the greatest brunt when it comes to climate change. I think for the first time, we've seen cyclones in Africa, never seen before in the sides of Mozambique. We're seeing the flooding in Nigeria now. We're seeing the drought in Kenya, the worst in the last 40 years. Right now, we have more than 4 to 5 million Kenyans who are facing starvation in our country. We've seen fires in the Aberdares. And that's something that we rarely would see. Those are things that you hear in Australia or in California.
Right.
And what it just starts telling us is that Africa needs to start coming up with its own solutions as it departs, as you discuss, or as it pertains climate change. And I'm happy that it's coming after the COP27.
Right.
Because we know that COP27 is very high level.
Yes.
And what Kusi then comes to do is to localize that discussion and look at the practical solutions on climate change. And I'm very happy that, His Excellency President Ruto is actually pushing the baton and actually pushing the Western countries and say, you need to start implementing.
Right.
We need to stop moving from stories to actions. And I think Kusi then brings it back home from COP27, from a very high level and very global discussion to now a continental discussion.
I love that. And we cannot talk about